So, a bungee jumper makes a jump in the Gorge du Verdon in southern France. The jumping platform is 182 meters above the bottom of the gorge. The jumper weighs 780 newtons. If the jumper falls to within 68 meters of the bottom of the gorge, how much work is done by the bungee cord on the jumper during his descent? Ignore air resistance. So, since we're ignoring air resistance, we know that there's two forces acting on the jumper during the descent, and those two forces are gravity and the tension in the cord. And since the jumper has zero kinetic energy at both the highest and lowest points in the jump, the change in kinetic energy is going to be also zero. So, therefore, the total work done by the two forces must equal zero. Now, the top left, I drew a force body diagram to illustrate, what's happening in this problem and show you the two forces. And the first force is pointing upwards, and that's tension in the cord. And the second force is going downward, and that's the jumper's mass times gravitational pull. Now, I'll let tension be W sub C, and mg, mass times gravity, is going to be W sub G. So now we're going to go and in order to find how much work is done by the bungee cord by the jumper during the descent, I needed to start off with this formula here, which is W subtotal, which is equal to W sub G plus W sub C, which is equal to change in kinetic, which is equal to 0. Change in K equal to 0. Now work done by gravity is found by the formula W sub G is equal to F sub Y times change in Y is equal to negative mg times the change in Y. This is where the weight of the jumper is going to be equal to mg was equal to 780 newtons. And this is all while Y is equal to 0 at the bottom of the gorge. So we got to use this formula here, which is the change in Y is equal to Y final minus Y initial. And I plugged in my values right here. So I got 68 meters minus 182 meters equals negative 114 meters. Okay. So now we got to find the work done by gravity. So we're going to use this formula here to find it, which is W sub G is equal to negative 780 newtons times negative 114 meters, and that gives us positive 89 kilojoules. So then here, all we do to find the work done by the cord is W sub C is equal to W total minus W sub G, all right, and that is equal to 89 kilojoules after I plugged in my values. So the work done by gravity is positive. Since the force and displacement are in the same direction, and they're both in the same downward direction. If not for the negative work done by the cord, the jumper would have a kinetic energy of 89 kilojoules, negative 89 kilojoules,